Oh, after you,
Excellent.
Duster.
Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah, welcome in. Um, yeah, this is streaming or modding 101.
Yep.
Um, firstly, you're a Twitch mod now. There you go. I said it.
So, thank you, everybody who has decided to become a mod and is trusted with the responsibility of helping streamers out, well, stream. We're
Yeah.
just going to be going over some things today. And if everybody's settled, we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, are you ready, chat? Are
How
you
are we feeling,
ready?
folks?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Looks like we're all ready.
Yeah, ready. Cool. Take it away, Duster.
You have been trusted with the responsibility of helping out the streamers with their chats. And as we know, with great power comes great responsibility.
It's true. It's true. That old man has
Hmm.
said it all.
Indeed. Yeah, we're here to make sure that everybody's happily vibing and, the show must go on. Got to keep the
Indeed.
stream streaming. And as a
Excellent.
mod, you're just going to maintain the chat so that the streamer can focus on streaming.
Mm, it's true.
Eh,
You gotta stream. You gotta stream, I tell you.
Yep, today we are going to talk over some basic stuff here. We're going to cover some basic cybersecurity, your mod tools, the mod view, shield mode, that's an important one,
Mm,
how to keep logs, and going over the rules for the streamers, as well as some protocols in certain situations.
yeah. Super
Yeah.
helpful things. Yeah.
So, if we are ready to continue, let's start with basic cybersecurity. Well, you got to keep the streamer safe by keeping yourself safe. Isn't that right,
Mm.
Johnny?
It's true, yeah, it's not fun being hacked, I tell you. Even I've never been hacked myself, but a lot of our friends have been. It's not a good look. It's just always stressful. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
can't be too careful.
exactly.
So, the first important thing is making sure that your passwords are secure. All your logins on all of your things are a point of vulnerability if you're not careful.
Mm,
And some hackers might just brute force it. Unfortunately, it is terribly common to have people that just put password as password or just have the username as their password and don't do that.
yeah,
Just keep it either something memorable or something that you keep track of, a method, and just keep in mind that some managers are online and still have points of vulnerability, no matter how encrypted they say they are. Some have been hacked and leaked. So do research if you decide to use a password manager.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be like Scarecrow. Have a brain, and just make super complex passwords.
Exactly, Johnny. And,
Yeah,
like you said, you can't have your password be your username. That is a little too easy to guess. And then there
yeah,
goes your account. So think of a word or a phrase or even song lyrics or something if you're going to memorize them and just toss in a little gobbledygook to toss things up again.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, when I'm doing the password, I on the object and then put that in my password. So it just makes it
Oh,
a bit more random. Yeah,
clever, clever.
yeah. I'm a
And
smart
just
boy.
as a second layer of security, we also have a two-factor authentication.
Mm.
Just a little extra moat around the castle, as it were.
Yeah, you gotta
'Cause
keep them out. Gotta keep them out.
Yep. Because in the unlikely event that your password gets compromised, it's just a little extra thing to slow or stop down people. That way, I'll give you time to change your password.
Yeah, exactly. You
And
get. Oh, after you.
oh, no worries, thank you. And when you set it up, it works through text, email, or through an authenticator app. And there'll usually be like a alphanumerical sequence that's going to be unique and every single login. So that's a little extra layer of security that makes it harder for hackers to get in.
Mm, exactly.
Yep, and the app is going to be the most secure since it actively cycles it, and in case anybody has a way to intercept your email or text messages, which, keep yourself secure. Don't give out your personal information if necessary, or unless absolutely necessary. I spoke there
Wait,
a little bit.
wait. So you're telling me I shouldn't send my password to my long lost uncle in Nigeria about it then?
My goodness, you
Oh,
got family everywhere, Johnny.
I do surprisingly. Yeah, my family has been very busy.
And just one last point of vulnerability. Like we said, do not share your login info with anyone. Your account is your account. Don't click on any suspicious links that have been going around. Some people who've
Yeah,
had their accounts hacked have had a what's the most recent one? It's something like check my game demo or something like that.
yeah, that's the one that happened
Yep.
to a mutual, I believe,
Oh
recently.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's scary.
it's very
Be
scary.
careful, and even you never know when your friends have been compromised, which hopefully not. I hope your friends are secure as well, and hopefully this helps them be more secure.
Yeah,
And then the last, less obvious one is just be careful what apps you give permissions to. I know Discord and Twitch have all sorts of things that they could connect to, and they have the little pop up that asks to give them permission. And just be wary of what those are asking for. Read the fine print and just consider if you actually need it to connect or not. Make sure you have a valid source.
yeah, exactly. You
All
could.
right. Excuse me. How's
Thank
everyone
you.
doing so far?
Yeah, you're doing good. Are you people entertained? Are you?
All right. Now, moving on to the good stuff. So,
Oh,
once you
goody.
are a Twitch mod, you can take a look at the little streamer window here. Everybody loves our favorite streamer.
Yeah,
Stream
streamer.
title. Just streaming, you
Oh,
know?
I love it when a streamer streams. That's the good shit. I tell you, that's that makes my life so much happier when we do that.
Indeed. Once you get going here, you're here modding the stream and keeping an eye on the chat here, and you got a few basic tools in your main view. You can't forget that you got your little chat settings here in the gear icon, and you
Mm.
have all the little preference doodads here, and an important one is the little mod icon.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Yep, so nifty. It has little
Yeah,
buttons right there for you. So once you activate that, toggle that little guy on, and these guys are going to pop up in chat. And let's show you what those do. So you have the
yeah,
option to delete the messages, time out the user, and if absolutely necessary, ban them. And those buttons are going to be right there for you. That's
they're
just your
so
basic view right here, as well as in case of emergency, break glass and activate the shield mode right there. We will cover that later on. Don't you worry. And of course, there is the mod view, which will open up a whole lot more tools.
Oh, look at this.
Yep.
Oh,
Now, don't you fret. There is a lot to do here, and you fortunately won't have to use most of these. However, they are very handy to have once you get to know these tools. So let's take a look at them, shall we?
yeah, little cheeky gander.
So your little widgets on the left here, let's start from the top down. You got your little list of active mods, and this is just going to show you who is currently hanging in the mod chat with you to help out. Make sure you got each other's backs.
Yeah,
hmm Of course, you got the little activity feed. It shows you who just followed, who did what, etc., etc. And these things will fill up. It's just a little log of what's been going on during the stream. And next we have the whispers, which is just going to be your personal whispers. It's a nice little convenient way to replace it from the little top view from the main view.
yeah.
And got the reward request queue. And this is just a nifty little tool for when people do redeems. If it doesn't go through for any reason, you can reject it, and all that does is just refund the person their points if whatever happens to not function. And this is usually up to the discretion of the streamer whether or not you can or should use that.
Yeah,
But
very
for the
handy.
most part, like, yeah, it's just another way to keep track of stuff that's been going on. Next up, we got a little list of suspicious user activities. And all that does is it's mostly like the little comp message thing and or somebody who is flagged. Sometimes it's coincidental, but it's another way for the little auto mod to let the humans in the mod view take a look at things just to make sure everything is cool.
Yeah.
Next, we got unban requests. If in case somebody is either accidentally banned or has something else going on, that's its own thing. That's mostly at the discretion of the streamer whether or not they let somebody back in.
Mm.
And then we have the predictions tool, which is the little Gamba thing some of these streamers like to use.
Oh yeah,
And
gambling.
yep, let's go gambling. Oh, dang
Yippee.
it.
Oh, dang.
And then next up, you got the batch reporting tool. If there's more than one person that's doing something naughty in here, you have access to a list of people that are currently timed out or banned. And you could organize who you see by what, and you could report them to Twitch en masse. So if it's a group of people doing naughty things, you can flag their accounts. Let the hopefully Twitch peeps take care of that once they
Yeah,
get
get him out.
notified of being flagged.
Mm.
Get them out of here. And then, of course, you could rearrange everything by adding or removing widgets as you please. This is just the default view here. And of course, you could go back to the regular channel page like we saw previously in this little doodad in the corner. Now,
Yeah.
next up, we got the chat modes here. And these are little settings that can affect how the chat flows and or is utilized. And once again, this is another tool that's mostly at the discretion of the streamer themselves. So first of all, you got your shield mode settings. And of course, the way to activate it is a little button down here again. Once again, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And the other settings are subscriber only chat, meaning that people cannot chat unless they subscribe. In the event that that's turned on, you could have emotes only chat, which turns off text and only lets you use the emotes of the streamer following or other streamers that the users are subscribed to. And there's followers only, which only lets people who are currently following chat in the chat. Slow mode, which just slows everything down, and you can choose how long between messages that are posted.
We love slow motion.
And
Yes.
slow motion.
Whoa.
And next up, we have the one of the auto mod tools is a list of blocked terms, and you and or the streamer can add things on here in case there's any issues. These are some common ones that some bots will pop in and try to feed you suspicious links by saying
What?
that they could get more viewers by clicking suspicious link. Totally won't hack you. Click on us, please.
Yeah, yeah, totally not suspicious. No, no, yeah, you'll get real viewers. Yes, yes, totally. Yeah.
Yep. And then and then the little widget down here is some messages that are caught by the auto mod, and those are just it's just a little queue for the humans to review. You could either clear out stuff that's already been taken care of and see, why they got caught by the auto mod. And for the most part, that is usually at the discretion of the streamer and or the mods, depending on the circumstances. Speaking
Yeah.
of auto mod, we'll just take a quick glance at the settings here. And all of these are little subgenres of naughtiness, as we'll put it, that some people might end up using in chat for one reason or another. And Some streamers are, for example, profanity is definitely allowed in 18 plus streams. But, if you're an all ages stream, they might have a little heavier filter on things.
Yeah, like if you're like
This
a
is,
Christian. Oh, sorry.
mm-hmm. Go on.
Oh, like yeah, if you're ever a Christian Minecrafter, yeah, you can, be squeaky clean as you ever want to be.
Indeed, Johnny.
Yeah.
Once again, these are tools that are mostly at the discretion of the streamer themselves. So as mods, you're most likely not going to be touching this, but it's good to know where everything is.
Hmm.
And when you're in the chat itself, you have a plethora of slash commands where you forward slash and type out a command to do stuff and things with, and there are a lot of them. For the
Oh
most
yeah.
part, these tools are also covered where we just were. And there's a few extra doodads, but for the most part, you're going to be focusing on these three.
Oh my
If you
favorite.
could clear the chat when, just in case you need to have a clean slate in there, and this just clears the view for all the regular viewers, not the streamer or the mods.
Mm.
This is good at the beginning or end of a stream as well if you just want to start fresh. You also have, just in case, the ban function,
Yeah, get bit.
especially if you need to preemptively ban anybody before the streamer starts streaming next time, if there's any issues with other streamers and somebody's clearly out causing trouble. But everybody's favorite tool, the shout out.
Yay, shouty
Gotta
outy.
let gotta let your friends know about your other friends.
Yeah, exactly. We love
Yep.
our shouties. We certainly do.
Sh- Shine the spotlight where it's deserved.
Indeed.
Now, since I've been talking about it so much, let's cover what shield mode is.
Yeah, get ready, Marge. Oh, we must, uh, we must protect our streamer from the trolls. Da 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 da.
I'm giving them all they got, Captain.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And as mentioned, the little doohickey shield icon right here is how you activate it. Break glass in case of emergency. And when it's activated, you'll see this little red imagery right here to
Mm.
let you know that it is in fact working. And let's just take a look at the settings for that really quickly. So much like the auto mod settings, this is just another layer of protection. So you could have all of this preset to the streamer's preference. And what this does is it's going to activate a little more tighter measures for the auto mod than you normally would during a stream. And hopefully you don't have to activate it, but knowing where it is and what it does is important. So you just have the basic settings here where you don't where they can block no where you can block first time chatters. So anybody who's only just showed up might be a little suspicious, especially if you're in a situation where you need to activate it. You could also switch to emotes only chat, so anybody who's been there and is starting to cause trouble can't necessarily use text to do it. And also the sub only chat, followers only chat, your slow mode once again, non-mod chat delay, so it's based which is basically slow mode for everybody who's not a mod. The mods can post regular intervals as they were.
Yeah.
And a couple of important ones are disabling the Twitch alerts and not allowing collab requests, which means that anybody who uses the redeems and or joins, for example, it won't pop up the alerts in the chat and on the stream. Just in case there's some suspicious usernames with naughty words in them that you don't want
Mhm.
your viewers seeing. And of course, the collab request is the whole knocking thing where you could share a chat with somebody else. And in case somebody is compromised, you might not want to let them knock on your door.
Yeah, you gotta keep him out. Keep him out like a vampire. Just don't let him in.
I think she was bit. Don't let her in.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
And of course, another filtering layer is the chat verification. So if the chatters don't have a verified email or a phone, for example, if they were created by a bot, this will block them from being able to enter anything into the chat and keep your chatter safe and your streamer safe. And of course, the follower verification as well. If they're not already following, this blocks them from being able to follow for the same reasons.
Mm.
And then, of course, there's all the auto mod settings right here as well that are able to have different level filter levels during the shield mode.
Yeah.
And that's about it for the tools on Twitch itself. Everybody doing good so far?
Yeah, you doing good? I mean, are you still entertained so far? Doing great, sweet, sweet. Lovely jobs. Super great info. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Duster has done wonderful on this. Paprika says very good. Mike has sent a lot of hearts. Thank you. Great info. Sweet.
Excellent.
Excellent, excellent.
All right. If we're all good, let's move on to the next module, which is about keeping logs. And being being a mod, record keeping is very important as well. Especially if your streamer has a strike system in place, we want to make sure all the mods are on the same page about that. And also, it's good to keep receipts. It's really handy in case of multiple warnings or disputes, and especially if there's issues with other streamers as well.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just helps. Um, especially if you're like in a little community, you can just like, you know, especially if you're close, you just gotta protect each other. It's just helpful.
Got to be
Sweet.
there for each other.
It's true.
Now, one option for keeping your own logs for each of the individual mods is a spreadsheet. However, this is handy, but really not necessary because most streamers will keep their own log for their own records.
Mm,
It's mostly
yeah.
for redundancy though, and totally optional. But if your streamer does have a Discord server, oftentimes there will be a private mod chat, and this is another way to collaborate with your other mods
Mm-hmm.
as well, just to keep everything in one spot. And a very important tool here in Discord is the little threads right up
Oh, the
here.
threads. Yes.
Yeah, let's take a little closer look at that, shall we? So this is really handy for organizing incident reports on individuals. So that way if somebody doesn't if a perpetrator doesn't perpetrate for a while and then they come back around, this is a way to see when and what happened. And also that way you're not having to scroll up and down through the whole, main channel chat. It's just another tool in your arsenal.
Indeed.
And of course, this is a good place to put screenshots of deleted comments that you get off of Twitch, just in case. Especially this falls back into the keeping receipts part.
Indeed. Like, it's also helpful, like, especially if you're DMing somebody and they send you like a dodgy message, but they'll delete it straight away. So you can keep
Yeah,
that info. That has happened to me a
yeah,
few times.
yeah. It's really unfortunate.
Mm,
Yeah, some people will delete or edit messages and to try and have plausible deniability, but you know, it's good to keep records just in case.
in case, exactly.
Hmm. Now, moving on to your streamer's rules. And of course, every streamer has different rules in their stream chat. Some are more welcoming to certain behaviors than others. Family friendly streamers are going to have different rules than 18 plus streamers, definitely. And make sure to take a look in the About section on their channel on Twitch, or sometimes there's a pinned comment in the mod chat on Discord. And
Yeah,
let's see here. Just keep an and make sure you keep track of updates to the rules. If you're not sure, ask the other mods or ask it's the streamer themselves if they're when they're not live. General rule of thumb: when people are in the stream chat and vibing in there, don't be an asshole.
exactly.
Yep.
Be a sweetie pie. Be super chill. Don't be. Yeah, don't be an asshole. Nobody likes an asshole. Even
Exactly. We're all here to vibe and have a good time.
yeah,
And don't
exactly.
let the good time ruiners ruin everybody's good time.
Yeah, indeed.
Now, and another thing to go over your streamer was with is situation protocols. So, what to do in case you have rule breakers, hecklers, or worst case scenario, hate raids.
Mm, yeah, hate
Well,
raids. Yeah,
unfortunately, the internet is, well, the internet.
yeah. It's the web is going to do web things, even though it's yeah. It's yeah. Let's get into it. It's horrid.
But that is why we stay prepared, so that way everybody can still have a good time, because we don't want the good time ruiners to ruin our good times, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We're just having a gay old time. That's
Hell
what we
yeah.
want.
Now, in case you have anybody that comes into the chat and breaks the rules, sometimes it's because they forgot and made a mistake, or they didn't read the rules to begin with. Everybody messes up now and again. And one thing that you as the mods could do would be to you could post reminders of the rule that was broken in chat, not necessarily calling them out, but just a little nudge to let them know. Definitely if it's something egregious or not allowed at all, just make sure you delete the comment. And if necessary, they might need a whisper just for you to be more direct with them. This isn't always advised. It really depends on the person.
Mm,
And of course, if they're a bot, there's no point in sending them a whisper. And if they are going to be an issue, make sure you keep a log of it. This is where taking screenshots of deleted comments comes in handy. Of
Indeed.
course, if they just break a rule on accident, that's one thing. But what if they are there to actually intentionally ruin your good time? If they're just going to be annoying and obnoxious, they just want to start stuff on purpose.
No, get that drummer out of here. Get out of here. We don't want that shit.
Yeah, gross.
Gross.
Make sure their comments aren't there to ruin everybody's good time. Just snip that out of there. Give them the old timeout if they decide they want to stick around and bug you. But if they're being especially egregious, just ban them. Like they're not there. They've if they've got their second chance, then get them out of there.
Yeah, yeet him to the stars. We don't want him. Get out.
Yep. And of course, keep your handy dandy little record of it
Mm. Mm.
because even if you do ban them from the streamer that you're modding for at that present time, they can continue to be a problem around streaming communities. People who raid into each other or hang out and share chats a lot. These people might try to stick around. Mm, it's unfortunate parasocial behavior, and you just got to watch each other's backs. So that is why we have our little mod chat communities here, and you could share records of that between the mod groups. But just keep in mind that this is not gossip. You do not share this info on social media or outside of the private mod channels. This is information that you are trusted with by the streamer.
Yeah, we don't want any you know, beef happening to other, communities. Like, we want it we want to help communities and, you know, make sure everybody's like safe and happy. We don't want to start any like gossip and shit. It's not ideal. Like we said earlier,
Exactly.
we don't want drama. We're not trying to start drama in the first place, so we, just keep it in there.
Yep. And this is all stuff happening behind the scenes. It does not need to become the scene.
Exactly.
Oh, worst case scenario, we do absolutely have to cover this given recent events.
Mm,
What to do in case of hate raids. And for those of you that don't know, a hate raid is a coordinated attack that's intended to overwhelm a chat with just deluge of abusive messages and harassment. And sometimes they will attempt to dox a streamer through various means. and it is your job to help put up the shields in case that happens. Because once again, we don't want the good time ruiners to ruin everybody's good time. But these trolls, they're looking to get a rise out of people. They want attention. Don't feed the trolls.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make them starve. It's just like it's like a parasite. That's it. We don't want any parasites in our communities. Get them out of here. Nasty little
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
indeed. So, what do you, the mods, do in the event that something definitely stands out as a beginning of a hate raid, which can vary? It's not always clear until hopefully you catch it early. Some signs are very apparent that people are fishing for a reaction, but definitely once those little red flags are going off in your head, engage the shield mode. It that Make sure that the preparations are in place for that. So that way, all
Mm.
you have to do is click a button, make sure you delete those nasty comments, and ban those accounts immediately and flag them. And once again, do not give them attention, block them, ignore them, and do not share any of those details on socials, especially if there's any ban list. Those, once again, are sticking to the mod chats for people to block behind the scenes. Sometimes the usernames or comments will have some personal information of the streamers or somebody else, and you do not want to share that around. In addition, it is because they are seeking attention, and sharing stuff on socials gives them that little nasty thrill they're looking for, that they've affected people. And we do not want them affecting us and once again ruining our good time.
Exactly.
So make sure you have the security measures in place preemptively and follow protocols in case anything goes wrong during the stream, and just keep things running as smoothly as possible. Because,
Yeah.
we're streaming to have fun and we're there to help our friends.
Indeed.
Hmm.
We love our friends, Jerry. We love our friends. We want to protect them as fast as we can.
Indeed. So we went over some basic cybersecurity here. We looked over the mod tools, took a little looky-loo at the mod view, saw what shield mode does, told you how guys how to keep logs, look over the streamer rules, and what to do in case of stuff going wrong or any unfortunate events. So
Yeah.
that about wraps it up. So you guys got any questions, comments, anything you want to add?
Yeah, tell us. Yeah, give us the goods. What would happen in the event of not a lot of mods being present on the scene?
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is not everybody, especially smaller streamers, are going to have fewer mods available to help out. And yeah, that's definitely another case of many hands make light work. So prevention is definitely the best cure. Or cure is not the right word here. It's more like a topical ointment that provides temporary relief. One more thing, but, like, yeah,
Oh,
in that
sorry,
in that
excellent.
case, yeah, the streamer is gonna have to be a little more vigilant in that case, just to make sure that, it's kind of a double duty thing, just doing the mod stuff while they're streaming as well, which if there's anybody you trust that wants to volunteer to be a mod, I'll make sure you do trust them.
Yeah, just don't hire or don't get a rando. Just get somebody like yeah. I think the best mods are usually your friends or a chatter that you know very very well.
Yep. Or people that are already modding for other people, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Just like us, we mod for
Mhm.
everybody.
Yeah, it's our communities touch and join and grow. There's many people in many time zones that'll hopefully be able to poke in and stick around.
Yeah, like being in the European time zone, I can do stuff while everybody is asleep.
Hmm.
When the raids happen, I was actually banning a lot of peace while everybody was sleeping. That's what I usually do.
And we appreciate your help, Johnny. Thank you so much for being there.
No, there is no problem. It's just being a mod, being a mod.
All right. And for the next question, how does one know who to shout out? Well, depends on the streamer. Once again, that is at their discretion. Some streamers do have a list of people that they prefer to shout out, and other times it's if you already know who is in the person's friend group. But definitely a big one is when people raid in. If the streamer doesn't have bots that do auto shoutouts, just yeah, go ahead and give the raiders, the proper raiders, that is, somebody who's ended their stream and brought their lovely audience over
Mm.
as they've decided to share their community. Give them a cheeky little shout out as well.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things, especially like if it's a familiar face, and if they've been super nice, super lovely in chat. I was like, you get a shout out, you get a shout out, and you get a shout out. It's great. I love it. The only thing about like giving shout outs is, especially if you're like, like me, I had to leave of like medical stuff, and then when I came back, there's been some like new friends that I didn't know, and it's like, oh, I need to know these people more. So it's just like, it's just
Mhm.
it's a bit bumpy, but you know what? You'll get back into the rhythm whenever that
Uh,
happens.
Definitely a big one though is make sure you know who the streamer's friends are because you are moderating their stream, so don't necessarily shout out your friends if the streamer doesn't know them.
Yeah, because that can feel a bit shitty. It's like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, unless, yeah, like I just said, like, like especially if they collab with each other, and if they make each other very happy, you give them a little cheeky shouty. While there may be exceptions for more generic terms like main or maple, do you recommend auto-blocking or muting anyone who with a street name in the screen name? Oh, the street name in the screen name. Are there any
Yeah,
other
the
terms?
actual username. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. These are definitely things that should be like ban lists and such should be shared around between the mod chats. As for street names, some names are pretty obscure. So it's kind of hard to say, but this is definitely at the streamer's discretion. If let's see, let me show. Yeah, if you like look at the block terms here, if the streamer themselves will be able to go into their the creator dashboard and they can set the block terms to private so only they could see it. And it is definitely a good idea for the streamers themselves to put their street name on there, especially if it's a less common word that might show up in the event of somebody trying to dox them, but also just to throw them off the scent, maybe throw a couple other names and addresses in the area or somewhere else as well.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe even add like celebrity addresses in there, since you
Mhm.
know, since like a lot of celebrities have their, people know their addresses. Like I know, like you can totally find like that actress
Yeah.
um from Doctor
Uh,
Strange. Like you can find
mhm.
find a house in Scotland or whatever, and then yeah, it's just open. So
Yeah, but also like yeah, the addresses are going to be a very specific string of numbers and the street name, and those are definitely worth keeping on the blocked lists.
mm,
That's yeah, because you don't want that showing up in the chat just in case.
yeah, you know what? I don't want people to find out where I live. Especially on my stinky island. It's not good.
Yeah, the other, but the definitely a big thing is on the creator dashboard. There's a way to set that to private, so in case on the off chance that any of your mods get compromised, the list of block terms that would have your address otherwise are not visible to them, so it would not show in the mod view here.
Yeah, exactly. What level of discipline do you want to give people when being in mod mode? Some mods can go all scorched earth, while others are more chill in some regard. What would be a good in between? Hmm.
Uh, I mean, that is definitely a thing to go over with your mods as well. If it depends on how thorough you want to be with your rule set. And
Mm.
that is communication is a big thing as well. So depend on how much permission you give them to whether or not they how they react to different chatters, because some people will say things accidentally, but
Yeah,
other
especially with
times, like, yeah, it is kind of a bit of a skill to be able to discern who is being naughty on purpose or not.
yeah, like sometimes it's just like spelling as well. Like I remember years ago, way before I was a mod, like I misspelled gut by accident, and then it became like the letter became a Y, and I didn't realize that was like a
Ooh,
um yeah, and
whoops.
yeah, I was like, oh no, I didn't mean it, I did it, oh god, and then luckily the streamer knew I was Joe. She knew that I wasn't being anti-Semitic, and so
Mhm.
that thankfully it was all sorted. But some people are generally, there was um there was a chatter one time, this creep, and they slide with, or like they slip with the rules, and it was getting on my nerds nerds nerves and the streamers nerves, and so we had enough. It's like especially like you know especially like I said, or like we said, if it really um hurting the vibes, then yeah, you can be a bit more aggressive, or maybe not
Mhm.
aggressive is the right word, but a bit more serious with it.
Stern,
Stern, that's it.
strict.
That's mm,
Yeah, that's definitely another thing too with the hecklers is that some of them will read the rules and see how close they could get to bothering people and still have the excuse of technically not breaking the rules, but if they're a good time ruiner and they're there to be as we said, an asshole, they don't need to be there to ruin your vibes. Is there a good rule of thumb for mods and streamers alike to distinguish a hate raid from a few hecklers? Is it better to go into shield mode either way? Oh, that is an excellent question.
mm, very good, very good
Hmm.
question. Um, I mean, with the heckler, it's just usually the one, and then unless they will migrate into another stream, and then you're like, oh, not this person again, then you eat them out. But with hate raids, it was just be non-stop. It would be like a proper raid where they just like melissa no but like oh, I don't know the word, but it's just like they will keep going at you over and over again, and it will just get tiring. And that's the point, it's like, okay, it's time to go shield mode. Yeah, if that
Yep.
makes sense.
Another big tell is if they use the streamer's IRL name, and depending on the streamer's presence online, they might have that information hidden on purpose. Unfortunately, internet being what it is, there are ways for people that are determined enough to get that information associated, and they're looking for a reaction to confirm that they found that information. And the biggest thing to do would not be to give them that response that they're looking for.
Yeah, I
But
mean that.
yeah, if you the mod happen to know their IRL name and it's something that they're not sharing, the second you see that in chat, just delete it. Don't react otherwise. Delete it,
Yeah,
ban them, time them out, etc. That is
yeah,
definitely a huge red flag right there.
yeah, you just got to be like Freddie Mercury, and keep going, and ignore like
Mhm.
the trolls. When it comes to bans, warnings, whisperings, the users for a streamer, do you find there are frequent common behaviors that ain't always direct stated in the rules that you're often found come up in streams that we should out for? Things similar to like a few constantly badgering and guilt tripping the streamer in chat for free art type of thing, or using a nickname for a streamer over and over that the streamer hates rude behavior and generally. Yeah, and this goes back to this creep that was a big nuisance in our community. They would actually advertise their commissions, or another thing they would do is that they will I'm finger quoting, like make fan art or something, and will badger will keep will annoy or like harass the streamer of um hey, I made you this thing, can you give me some money please? And that's just like really shitty,
Mm.
honestly shitty. That's that happened to a lot of our friends uh in the server and in our friend server, and yeah, this person was just so bad. It's one of the bad ones.
Yep. I mean, one thing to keep in mind is that you can always change or update your rules as well. If there's new scenarios that come to light that you didn't initially prepare for, it is perfectly acceptable for you to curate your own space in the way that you see fit for you. And of
Yeah,
course, just
exactly.
because somebody didn't technically break the rules doesn't mean that they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, this is like one of those cases where because of this particular person, you got to make a new rule to stop them from doing
Yeah.
that, or even ban them afterwards.
Yep.
It's
And definitely mods and everyone, those are instances where you do keep records of it, share within the community just to warn people that this person might be an issue and to prepare for them. And if these other streamers see that this person's being an issue for you, they don't want to deal with it, they could just preemptively ban them so they can't even get into their streams. But yeah,
yeah,
rude behavior in general, just big no-no.
yeah, exactly. We like, I mean, yeah, again, this keeps going back, but
And, like, if you wanna, like, put the nickname that you don't like in the band terms, that's up to you.
it is, yeah, like, exactly, like if you're, um, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Um, but yeah, just this is like, oh yeah, like this is your space, this is your stream. Well, I mean, this is like more like a streamer thing. But like if they're ruined the vibes, it's you know, it's not good. Just ban them. It's
Mhm.
especially if they're being a cretin. We don't want that.
Yep. It's important to remember that no matter how much a streamer loves their community and no matter how close they become, a streamer doesn't owe their audience. So, like, if a streamer offers free sketches, it doesn't entitle them to request freebies. If an audience member commissions or makes gifts for the streamer, even though it's appreciated, that doesn't require them to reciprocate. It may sound cold, but ultimately, you, as the streamer, are already giving your time and putting on a show. Exactly. Thank you so
Mm,
much.
very well put. Yeah.
And just remember,
Thank.
folks, be vigilant, but we're still here to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and listening to our little speech. And that's
Yeah,
all,
thank you.
folks.
Yeah. All right, boys and girls and non-binary hoes, thank you so much. You've been truly the best. Great chatters, great great questions. You peeps have been the best, especially for our first presentations. You've been so nice. Thank you so much.
Mhm.